Is becoming more visible by the day. Reports of naked eye observations are on the rise. Now more than ever, it is important to keep vigil on events that are taking place across our planet that may provide a timeline for the highly anticipated arrival of the Planet X system. Nibiru is rising to the ecliptic, appearing from the southern hemisphere and moving in a clockwise rotation relative to our sun. It will first align with Mercury 30 degrees to the ecliptic. As it draws closer to Earth, it will rise another 30 degrees, crossing Jupiter's orbit, where it will reach perigee at the place of the crossing, where it met the planet Tiamat in our distant past. From there, it will head back out into deep space, just as it did the last time it passed our way. What's presently happening as the system moves towards perihelion is that major changes are appearing on the surface and in the atmosphere of our sun and all the planets. These changes have been observed and confirmed by astronomer Mike Lockwood of California's Rutherford Appleton National Laboratories. So here's what we know at this time. Since 1901, which would be the last 116 years, the sun's magnetic field has increased by 230%. In that time frame, solar storms and flares have also increased. The Earth's moon now has a 6,000-kilometer deep atmosphere of natrium, which was previously non-existent. Mercury has developed polar ice, a remarkable feat considering it is the closest planet to the sun. The luminosity of Venus has skyrocketed by an astonishing 2,500% and has experienced major changes in its atmosphere in the last 40 years. If you have observed the evening sky the past fall and winter, you would know exactly what I am referring to with regard to the appearance of Venus. The polar ice caps of Mars, which are further away from the sun than the Earth, have melted, while the magnitude of storms has increased exponentially. Here on Earth, a diminishing magnetic field has increased the amount of radiation entering the atmosphere, causing an epidemic of skin cancer. Have you noticed just how warm the sun has become these days? You can't even wander out for an extended time without feeling the effects of the sun on your skin. In addition, the collapsing field has produced dramatic climate change and extreme weather on a scale never seen in our lifetime. For its part, the sun has created solar winds that contribute to the elimination of ions that allow the Earth to retain water and air. All these horrific changes are happening right now. Sadly, the vast majority of scientists and those in the know are unwilling to reveal the actual reason for these drastic changes and the ecological degradation that is now happening. Whatever the reasons may be for the censorship of information that is so vital to humanity, it seems to be working, since very few are willing to sacrifice their reputations and their very survival in order to warn the masses that something enormous is on its way towards Earth. However, there are a few brave souls who have gone out on a limb to inform the public about the existence of something in the heavens that poses great danger for the world. Recently, a member of the Brazilian Senate, a gentleman by the name of Telmario Moto, gave a speech before the Parliament addressing a report of the American Space Agency. According to the senator, the NASA report indicates that a planet referred to as 7X is coming towards the Earth and is going to change the gravitational field of our planet.
De uma eleitora que ela diz o seguinte: senador, o senhor viu essa informação da NASA? Ou seja, a NASA afirma que o planeta Nibiru, o X7, está vindo em direção à Terra e o ciclo atual será terminado em breve. Ela fala mais. Segundo o relatório da NASA, o planeta altera o campo gravitacional da Terra e, com isso, 2/3 da humanidade perecerá. e 2/3 morrerão de fome e de doença. Claro, eu passei isso para os meus assessores, promover um estudo para ver se esse planeta que ela fala de Nibiru está realmente se aproximando da Terra.
Now, just think about this for a moment. This is quite a remarkable statement in and of itself. Here is a man who is a prestigious member of the Brazilian Parliament, telling the world that a giant planet is coming our way. Now, it seems logical that no one is going to put their reputation or their honor on the line if for any reason they knew that what they were telling others was a complete hoax or a false flag. It makes absolutely no sense. There were some on social media who were actually criticizing this man for speaking out on this subject, indicating that there were more relevant issues facing the planet. Now, are you kidding me? More relevant issues than a massive comet-like planet barreling down on the Earth? I suppose this courageous senator must now realize how Noah must have felt when he warned the disbelievers that great peril was coming their way. What did they do? They mocked him, ridiculed him, and called him a fearmonger. So you see, regardless of the signs given to the world, no matter how many warnings are spoken through its messengers, and despite the great changes taking place, there will be those who will stick their heads in the sand and declare that the world is and always has been the same, today, tomorrow, and forever. One only has to open a history book to know that great changes have taken place on this planet over many millennia, and that which has happened in our past will repeat itself. It's inevitable. It is part of the cycle of life here on Earth, a renewable cleansing, so to speak. Did you know that the odds of events naturally occurring in nature are about 3 in almost 1,060? Those are almost impossible odds, and yet violent storms, floods, and volcanic eruptions have become a major concern, and things are getting much worse. The public is being kept in the dark deliberately to avoid panic, while storm systems are multiplying in type, intensity, and size. I've mentioned this before, but why are the elites scurrying about to quickly build these underground bunkers? It's a very good question. Maybe they know something that the rest of us don't know, in which case it behooves you to dig deeper to get some answers as to why they are doing this. Or you can just dismiss all of this and carry on with your normal existence. We call that the freedom to choose. But one thing I know for sure, and maybe some of you know this as well, the rich do not waste their money on anything that is based on rumors and innuendos. They tend to use their money wisely, and that is why they are wealthy. So my advice to you is to watch what they do and when they do it, and heed the warnings and the evidence that something big is about to happen. We are beginning to see that today. Reports warn of a future era of rioting and nuclear war, during which time Great Britain will become the Siberia encased in snow when seeking to find new homelands. Would not be unrealistic in such a catastrophic environment. A Pentagon report predicts that abrupt climate change could bring the planet to the edge of anarchy as countries develop a nuclear threat to defend and secure dwindling food, water, and energy supplies. The threat to global stability vastly eclipses that of terrorism in the world today. Look at what is happening in North Korea with the testing of ballistic missiles that are capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Why is this allowed to happen? Well, the first thought that comes to mind is that this is a great distraction from what is really happening. Is a nuclear war the ultimate distraction? If so, what do they hope to accomplish? Right now, the Earth is holding a higher population than what it is capable of sustaining. In just 3 short years, by the year 2020, vast shortages of water and energy supplies will become harder to overcome, thus plunging our planet into war. Roughly 8,200 years ago, climatic conditions resulted in widespread crop failure, famine, disease, and mass migration of populations. We could soon see a repeat of this period in time. The ramifications of rapid climate change would create global chaos, thus a national security threat that would run rampant. The key to any survival would be in your manner of preparedness. Staying informed, making a plan and staying to it, and remaining safe in an emergency will become important factors going forward. There has been a great deal of controversy recently regarding an anomaly that appears to be coming from Antarctica. In the last couple of months, a mysterious microwave anomaly has been detected by the Morph Integrated Microwave Imagery, and it's coming from the Antarctic region. The first wave anomaly was detected on April 2nd of 2017. The second wave occurred on May 15th, and on May 26th, Mimic caught the third wave. The source of the mysterious wave points to a location at Antarctica. As we have mentioned before, if you make a line down into Antarctica, the path of the wave anomaly crosses the mysterious Princess Elizabeth Station, which is situated at the base of a pyramid structure. This leads us to speculate whether the waves are originating from this station or from an unknown source. Regardless, something in that area is creating this anomaly, which is beaming out into the Pacific Ocean. Observations indicate that this anomaly is situated over or close to the Cascadia subduction zone, which is a 600-mile fault that runs from Northern California up to British Columbia and is about 70 to 100 miles off the Pacific coastline. Scientists are predicting that there is about a 40% chance that a megathrust earthquake of 9 or greater will occur in this fault zone in the years ahead. So as this wave anomaly from May 26th indicates, there is something at Antarctica that is manipulating or altering the weather in the Pacific Ocean region for reasons that are unbeknown to the public. Seismic unrest in the United States is picking up steam. There is a disturbing trend taking place at this time. In the first week of June, there have been 11 earthquakes in Yellowstone, 4 tremors in the New Madrid seismic zone, and 2 rare earthquakes in an area of Alaska not familiar with earthquake activity. On June 1st of 2017, 2 rare and shallow earthquakes hit Shishmaref in Alaska. What is so unusual about these quakes is that there have been only 8 earthquakes in this area since 1931. These 2 earthquakes were followed by tremors reported around Tennessee in the New Madrid seismic zone. The quakes in this part of the country are very disturbing to people because of the New Madrid fault, which produced the most powerful quake in U.S. history in 1811 and 1812. On June 2nd of 2017, a series of earthquakes started rattling West Yellowstone in Montana, very close to the Yellowstone National Park, and thus to the supervolcano caldera. A few hours later, 2 other quakes rattled New Madrid again, this time in Georgia and Alabama. Meanwhile, a 3.4 earthquake hit Ohio on June 3rd. No one seems to know what is happening here. The mainstream media is completely silent about this. It certainly appears that pressure is being released along these vast fault lines from the New Madrid across the Yellowstone caldera and up to the Cascadia subduction zone. And if you live in these areas, you should get prepared. Bizarre weather anomalies continue to sweep across the world, from ice missiles bombarding Bangladesh to large tidal waves smashing ashore in the Netherlands to a wall of sand inundating Khartoum. The chaos left in the wake of these strange events are being felt across the planet. Take a look at the devastation from the massive hailstones that resembled ice missiles that pummeled Bangladesh on June 1st.
Tsunami. Een tsunami, jongens. Een klein tsunami. Oh. Helemaal dood.
There is considerable speculation and second guessing when it comes to understanding the very reasons for the bizarre and unprecedented weather events that are continuing at an accelerated pace across the Earth. Extreme weather isn't something that is new to the planet, but the intensity and the frequency of these events are creating a real dilemma for all nations and all people. There is good reason to believe that a massive dwarf star and its accompanying system of planets and moons that are moving through our solar system are responsible for the changes happening on Earth. I mentioned at the beginning of this video presentation that Nibiru, the blue kachina of Hopi prophecy, is becoming more visible by the day. Observations of its presence in our solar system are coming into focus. This object was captured using a telescopic lens on June 1st of 2017. Close-ups show the presence of a giant planet resembling the blue kachina. Now, something this large, if the images are shown to be authentic, could explain the extreme erratic weather and the huge uptick in volcanic activity that is being reported across the world. Not only was the object seen in proximity to the Sun in recent days, but apparently was being picked up from the International Space Station the first week of June. These images, recorded by a skywatcher who monitors the ISS webcam, are showing the presence of an orbital body resembling the blue kachina. And then there is this peculiar presence which briefly materialized from the Playa del Carmen video cam during sunrise on May 30th. It looks to be an enormous planetary object. Here is the video time-lapse of this capture. So in closing, here is something to reflect on, regardless of whether you are religious or secular, or consider yourself a Christian or a non-believer. All the peoples of the ancient world considered the crossing of Nibiru as a sign of impending upheavals and great changes on Earth due to its strong gravitational effects. Torrential rains and massive flooding would inundate the planet and subsequently arrest the Earth's spin on its own axis for an entire day. Earthlings believed that when Nibiru finally arrived, justice would settle upon the earth. Nations would be judged, and people reputed for their transgressions in the way of floods, inundations, and earthquakes. History has a way of repeating itself, lest we forget the teachings and the words of the ancient scholars and prophets who forewarned of this day. To all of our viewers and subscribers, stay safe, keep vigil over your surroundings, share your thoughts with like-minded individuals, and most importantly, keep looking to the sky.